to this episode of Good Morning Mama. We have some really special guests today, and I'm excited to introduce them. Actually, they're going to introduce themselves because they have this intro that is so cute that you guys have to hear.
Yeah.
But we have the Salyers twins with us, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we are going to ask them questions about their very unique life. Welcome to Good Morning Mama. We're two instant best friends with a combined 13 children, ages newborn to 16, talk about all things motherhood. Our new mom versus seasoned mom dynamic will leave you laughing, and our Christian values and positive outlooks will leave you inspired. So grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and enjoy our visit.
Sounds good. I guess it's habit at this point. So I'm Brittany. I'm Brianna.
I'm Josh. I'm Jeremy.
And we're the Salyers twins.
I love it. So yesterday on our Instagram, we put a question sticker for our followers to ask you questions. And a lot of these questions are ones that you have probably heard a million times. But let's start first with, how did you guys meet?
How did we meet? That's a good one. We get that a lot. Josh,
Yes.
you want to?
Well, we met at the annual Twins Days festival that they have every year in Ohio. We decided to go one year. They had been several times. That was kind of something that they did together. And we just on the first year that we decided to go, we happened to meet them on our last night. Which
Met at the Twins Festival.
we were on the way out of the festival when we met them. But so we got really lucky and met them. And then we started dating and traveling to see them. And then we got engaged 6 months later at the same time.
Naturally.
Cool.
So
And you
was
got
that
married
the
at the same
plan?
time.
What's that?
Sorry. I got so intrigued. So was that the plan? So you brothers, did you say, okay, we have to find two sisters that are twins, and then we're going to propose on the same day. We want to get married on the same day.
I don't remember when we got that to the marriage part yet, when we were talking about it, but we knew that if we were going to find someone, it was going to have to be a set of twins because of the way, our lifestyle already. And so we needed something that was going to be similar to that.
Yeah.
So we had a rough outline of the plan, at least.
Yeah.
And you guys got married on the same day as well. And
Right.
you had a joint ceremony.
But, while we were dating, we did decide together that we wanted to propose at the same time and all of that. So that, it was planned in that way.
Do you guys have other twins in your family, or are you both your individual twin? Like, do you have twin?
That's a good question.
We don't know of any twins in our family.
Oh, okay.
At least not in our first,
And we have some fraternal twins in our family line. And then we have little triplets that are little girls in our family on our father's side.
Oh, really?
More recently. And so, it's always an interesting thing, right? Because with identical twins, we were always coined, in history as freaks of nature. Quite literally, it was like you couldn't determine, even based on your genetics or hereditary traits, how likely you would have identical twins, because it was just like a fluke of nature.
Right.
So interesting.
That
That
is
is
really
so
interesting.
And
So
then
do your
go
parents,
ahead.
I'm sorry. Okay. And then we'll get to the questions that everybody else asked.
Yeah, go.
Do your parents get along? Like, were they encouraging you guys to marry twins because you do everything together, or are they like? I'm so interested.
Yes. So our parents and families love one another. Like, it's been smooth sailing. Like when people talk about like in-law problems and stuff, we don't have that.
Wow,
We can't
that's
have any,
awesome.
and we feel very lucky and blessed on both sides with that. Now, I think with our parents, they were always so supportive, knowing that Brittany and I had this dream since, really, Brittany and I talked about like twin Prince Charmings, finding us since we were like kindergarten. So our parents knew.
Aww.
I think that by the time we met Josh and Jeremy, I think they were worried, to be honest. Like, I think if they are being really honest, they would have said they were starting to worry because it's such a slim chance of it happening, of the dream coming true. People are starting to already be married. Maybe one of the brothers would already be married. Maybe one would already have kids.
Yeah.
What are the odds, Yeah.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I think, and your mom, right? Your mom was like also a little bit hesitant, like.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's more just kind of surprised,
Sure.
that that's happening, and maybe, yeah, it wasn't that she was had any, feelings about whether we should do that or not. It was just the fact that we were getting married.
Well, yeah.
By
I
that.
think any mom would be like, well, hold on. And do they love you now? Now you're looking at two girls. I know with my son, I'd be like, well, hold on. Get to know them. And yeah.
We went back, but I think that it was so cute. The night that Josh and Jeremy proposed to us, this double proposal, they had brought in but our families, and so our parents met each other. Our moms, like, it was just so cute. We came in after they proposed, and it was this like surprise after party, and our moms like hugged each other. They're like, your twin sons are marrying my twin daughters. It was like a dream.
What a fairy tale.
Oh,
that's so sweet. Oh, so how did you guys like? Sorry, Karla.
I was going to say, I know this story because I visited with you before, but you were also married by twin priests, right?
Oh, wow.
We had twin chaplains that led our double wedding and presided over the whole ceremony, and it was very, very special. So Ronald and Donald Hayes, the Hayes twins, we call them sometimes the Bishop twins, the twins. And it was so special. Yes.
That is so cool.
Festival where we met a year later. So we were able to get married in front of all of our twin friends, and we had
I love that.
Twin processional, and so there's twins everywhere.
Now, I have to ask, have either one of you ever not been able, when you guys were dating, were either one of you ever not able to make the date, so you switched? Right now.
No, especially early on, we never did have separate dates. Really, we just all were together all the time. I mean, we had time with each other, as couples, but we always, anything that we did, we always did it together. We went out.
And to clarify, did you mean the four of us, or do you mean when we were dating singletons in our past?
No. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good question. That's a better question.
Even just in general, like for a test or anything, have you ever swapped places with your twin in any situation ever?
Yes, we have. Your God-given right once in a while,
Yeah.
So, yes, we did. I mean, April Fool's Day was like our day,
Oh yeah.
Twin turns galore. So yes, we did pull the old like twin switcheroo. But if we did it with Josh and Jeremy, luck would be like they would do the same thing and end up with the right twin.
Have you ever like not known that was your spouse? Like, have you confused each other ever?
Yes.
But not maybe in a way, like in such a dramatic way that people think. I mean, like from the side or from the back or something. I think the other day, I was like, Josh, I was heading out the door or something, and Josh, I could see the side, and I was like, oh, I love you. And he was like, it's Josh. And I was like, okay, but I still love you too, Josh. My brother.
It's verbal.
It's verbal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. That's so funny. Oh. I know Chelsea has other questions. I'm gonna.
I can keep going all day. Yeah. No, go ahead. Pull one of the Instagram questions.
Well, I was going to mention your children because it is so interesting to me that your children are not twins from the same parents, but genetically they would be like twins, and they're called quaternary twins. Is that right?
And you said it so well.
Yes, it's a hard
right. I've been practicing.
Yes.
Yeah, she has.
That's so cute. I'm very proud. Yeah.
But that is so neat though, because they're both boys. They're the same ages, and you each have one child, but genetically they would be like twins. I think that is so cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And we do raise they're genetic siblings, and we do raise them as brothers. They refer to each other as my brother. And I don't think I've ever heard them say like my cousin. I think if you said cousin, they would think you meant one of their actual cousins, from the brother siblings. And so it's been really interesting. I think all four of us feel like we have two kids. So like if people don't know our story, and on the rare occasion that I am out and about by myself, which, isn't that often, but on the rare occasion where I've had someone ask me, not knowing my story, so how many kids do you have? I usually say something like, we have two at home.
Yeah.
We've got two
Smart.
That is cool and accurate. Yeah.
exactly. Right.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
smart. So, okay, so I have to know, how does daily life work? Because you guys do live together. I know personally, I love Karla to death. Do I want to live with her and be around her every minute of the day? While she does follow me around, we're talking all the time, probably not. So, like, and I would consider her like my sister. So, like, I barely want to live with my husband sometimes. How do you, how do you do life with siblings and then dual siblings? I mean, that's
It feels really, really normal and natural,
Really?
honestly. And like, what is it about that situation when you think of it that makes you not think it's a good idea? You
I
know what I
want
mean?
to-
Like talking about Carl, if you say, what is it about that would bother you living with her? Do you think is it like a
Yeah,
private?
Chelsea.
yeah. Well, no, I think it's just because like sometimes I like just quiet or to be alone. I don't know. Or I like things a certain way. Maybe I'm the odd one out. I don't know. But
That's a popular opinion.
No.
It's understandable, and I think that's a normal way to feel.
yeah.
I think that we as twins don't really crave
Because you've been
solitude.
you've been with somebody your whole life, even in the womb.
Yeah.
Right. And I do think that,
Wow.
I guess I'll speak for myself, but I think this applies to all four of us. I think Chelsea and Carla, like, I think we would feel the same way that you do about others that are not the four of us. Like,
Right.
it's like when I want to be alone, like, I do understand, like, if I crave alone time, to me, that usually translates to like me and Brittany. And
Really?
it's enough, it's comfortable enough, and like that's my alone time in a way.
That's cool. Yeah.
But if it was with someone else, I don't, it would
Like
be
our other best friends.
our
like,
other best
we're each other's
friends.
identical
It would
twins.
be different.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Yeah.
would be like a little time with them.
Yeah. You want to break.
One
And
thing that I think is really unique about
Charlie
you
Charlie.
guys is that a lot of times with twins that I have known of, the parents almost encourage them to be different because they want them to have their own identity. But you guys have almost been raised the same way that your twins, you're more comfortable together, and they've embraced that. They haven't encouraged you to be completely different. Like you need to cut your hair different than your twin, or you need to wear different colors. They've almost like embraced your natural tendency to be together, and you're continuing to do that. And I think that's really cool.
Well, thank you. That's so nice. And we definitely had parents that they didn't push either way at all. So they didn't make us dress the same or encourage us to do so or not to do so. I know, like most twins, I think we went through stages where we hated being called the twins. And things like that, and I think that's just normal, just kind of a cycle of twins that you kind of go through. But here we are. So yeah, we would encourage parents of twins or teachers of twins not to try to put labels for your own convenience on twins. So maybe teachers, well-meaning, might try to be like trying to give them quote unquote individuality and say, okay, you're the athletic one and you're the science one.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to force a difference.
Right.
May not
Sure.
right.
Because you're telling one, you're not good at science and you're not athletic.
Right.
You are. And so it's kind of like, it's not meant to be insulting, but it is a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. I think it's really unique. So you guys have lived together pretty much your entire life. You had a break during college, is that right? And it was just a short time where you were not physically living in the same place. But other than that, you've lived together every day.
Mhm.
Correct. There was a time when each set of twins was separated for a time, but since then not. And I think we're all just on the same page that life is precious, and why waste time apart? I think also just like more in a practical sense, like we love that we're able to combine resources financially. The castle gets a lot bigger when there's four adults, realistically. And so,
And childcare and all of that, being able to balance household chores and all of that too.
Yeah.
The reality of it.
that's how we've always really lived, as a, human race, for the majority of our history, we've had this communal living situation. And then we've, only recently in our history have separated from that and had these single family households.
Right.
But really, it used to be a lot different than that. So more like we're doing it, I think that maybe that when it was that way for a reason.
Like it didn't always even have to be twins, but
Right.
I
Yeah, it could
think
be
now.
those families,
Yeah.
not just twins.
Exactly. I think it's easier with identical twins just because we like things the same way. Brittany and I have the same taste. Josh and Jeremy have the same taste. We're not going to fight about which house to buy because we all, you love the same one.
Right.
We want to wear the same outfit. We, our brains are the same. But so while it's easier for identical twins, I see what Jeremy's saying. Like it could still work for other family units, even if you're not a multiple.
Totally.
Yeah. And actually we do a similar thing on our property where we have multi-generational lifestyles here. There's 3 generations living on one property, and people
Yes,
that's different and not odd or unique, but I hear what you're saying is this is how it's actually always been done,
Right.
And you guys have a unique situation just because it's twins, but I hear you. I feel that when you say that, it makes sense to me. So let's continue to talk about that and your business stuff too, because you guys do have a business together on your property, and you also are expanding other businesses. I know that you're wearing your Kaya and Cash clothing that you guys designed. And it's so cute.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, and they have other collections within the Kaya and Cash boutique. We're going to share the link on the podcast. So I want you guys to talk about your clothing, your business on your property, and also your other or not episodes, but your appearances on other TV networks and different things that you have going on. Tell us about all of those businesses and exciting things going on.
Oh, cool. Yes,
Yeah.
nice.
Start.
Yeah. Well, why don't you start with the wedding venue?
Right. Yeah. So we live in our home/wedding venue. So it's a business and a home.
We live on site, yes, and it is called Smith Mountain Manor.
Right.
Gorgeous.
We're going to link that website too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So
When
beautiful.
four of us were dating, we had talked about it. We all kind of have entrepreneurial spirits. Talked about doing businesses together with our twin, and then with the 4 of us, it was so natural. And so we looked at a lot of properties together post engagement, and really fell in love with just really the perfect manor house property in Virginia. So it's called Smith Mountain Manor because it's at Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia. And it's beautiful. And we feel so fortunate. And so we own, and Josh and Jeremy are the primary operators of this wedding and special events venue, and lots going on constantly. October, that's
definitely our busy season. So we've been booked through October and most of November and into December also. So
Here all the time.
It's a lot of work at this time of year to do one every weekend. It's more than it seems. It's not just the weekend. It's kind of a week-long thing.
Yeah. Because it's the most important weekend of most, or one of the most important weekends in people's lives. And so so honored to get to be a part of that and make it so special. And so that's Smith Mountain Manor. And we are soon going to be launching with Kaya and Cash and you all. We're having such fun behind the scenes, launching a wedding and honeymoon line. So we can't wait to post more about that and do that launch. We can't wait.
So cute.
Yes, it's awesome. And in the meantime, we have, as you know, we've had such fun partnering with you all on our Salyers Twinspirations collection and line, clothing and home line. And so we are wearing copy and paste shirts. So these are identical twins or besties.
Yeah.
And
We're the first one, so naturally they're hot.
That's so cute. Oh, I didn't even wait. How many minutes apart are you guys? I didn't even think to ask that.
We are 5 minutes. They are also 5 minutes. So
no way. That is so cool.
Yeah. And that was one of the several things at the first meeting. That's kind of, when you meet another set of twins, that's one of the things that you ask. That's just how many minutes apart it goes. But anyway, so it was the same as us, and they were living together, and they had all these similarities to us, which we were really
even more similar than you even realized. That's so wild.
Because we had talked to other sets of twins and didn't have the same similarity.
Yeah.
Like she said, a lot of them, one of them's married, the other one isn't, and it's just a lot of. I was really disappointed every time I heard that when I talked to a set of twins that one had their married life and all that. I assumed that a lot of twins were living together and just doing everything together like that, but. A lot of them do, because
we never talked to a lot of twins like that.
Right.
So we never got any of, other twins' perspectives or how they lived their life. We had no idea. We were just doing our thing. And
I think like that's part of the fun of the line is because it's sort of taking the twins and multiples and kind of having fun with it. And I don't know, it's a way to connect with other twins and multiples families, but it also applies to besties, so it's a way to have fun and kind of, I don't know, open a dialogue to fun things.
And you're also giving your 10%. It's a social impact business. You're giving your 10% towards Twins Festival, Twins Day, right? So other twins can meet twins. So you can experience twin life with other twins around the world, right? I mean, this is a huge event that happens once a year.
This is huge and it's life-changing. We think every set of twins and multiples, triplets, quadruplets, every set should go at least once in their lives. Most once they go back.
They will never be the same again. If a set of twins goes to Twins Days, they're not the same person when they leave. And that goes for literally every person that's ever gone. I mean, that's just how it is. It's just like this life-changing experience where you get to be with other people like you. Instead of, we're all dispersed across the world.
Yeah.
Each town, you might be the twins in your town. But you don't have a bunch of you that can get together and discuss your life experience or have anything to even compare it to until you get there. So they find out that they're not really as alone as they might have thought.
That's right. And
that is so neat. And I bet the festival is getting bigger as time goes on, since there are different ways to, have twins nowadays. I mean, it's been going on for many decades, but with in vitro and other options.
Exactly.
I think there's probably more sets of twins now than there were in years past. I would just imagine. I don't know.
Fraternal twins, that's right.
Yeah. And also just, I think social media, just letting people know about it and then reminding families about it, I think throughout the year has also helped get those numbers up. If you go to the Twins Days website, they also show the Road Boys. It's another wonderful organization started by one of our dear twin friends that is at the festival every year, who lost his identical twin after their first year going, and he works to ensure that twins can have that experience at least once. So we love that. We think we love that we can have some of the proceeds help go to that Twins Days Festival, because everyone should experience it at least once, and keeping the cost down, helps all twins and families of twins and multiples that want to go.
Absolutely.
And they have their
we'll link to that too
already. They already have their clothes picked out from your store. So we're helping them in so many different ways.
Yes, and they do research there for all different diseases and all different things, because twins are the perfect control set basically. And so every year at the festival, there's booths with research going on that helps many different causes and health factors. So it's incredible to be a part of that also.
Oh. I didn't realize that. That's crazy. So they have booths set up for you to be able to go around and say, hey, this kind of applies to me. Let me participate and see.
Right. It's like a research area, a bunch of tents, research groups doing different things in a specified area. So if you're interested in being a part of that, then you're encouraged to. They give you a little compensation here and there. Nothing crazy. They might give you some coupons, product, or $10 or something like that.
But it's an ethically controlled area for twins, which historically has been a problem, because twin experiments and twin studies that weren't ethical and twins and multiples being sort of exploited has happened in the past. And so that's another wonderful thing about the Twins Festival is you're able to choose, okay, do we want to be part of this? And then it's in a controlled environment. And so that's wonderful too.
Wow. That's so interesting. Oh.
That is interesting. And tell us what other appearances you've had recently. I know you've had several TV channels kind of discover you and interview you.
We've had fun with it. Yeah, thank
you. The Sunrise morning show in Australia.
That was the latest one that we did. So it started with our double wedding was televised on TLC. It was called Our Twin Saint Wedding. Sometimes it's on Hulu, so it's kind of on and off
Yeah,
Hulu.
I think you can still find it.
Our Twin Saint Wedding, so that was such fun. And we've done Inside Edition. They filmed our double proposal and filmed right after we had the boys for pregnancy.
Kind of get picked up, you know, how the media is. And
Right.
so,
Yeah. Magazine did some kind of human interest story originally,
great.
and then
Yes.
they've kind of been following it, you know, any kind of significant update, you know, when the girls got pregnant, when the boys came and all of that.
Great.
So then we did the show on TLC.
Yeah.
And
We've done TLC, Access Hollywood. We did Hallmark Home and Family when they were still on Hallmark, Pickler and Ben. But recently we also did it. It's going to air here very soon, you all.
that's right.
We're going to do ABC Nightline.
right.
So
Fine.
that'll be
We
very
did
soon.
Cameron Hall in
Yeah.
New York. It's awesome.
We've had such fun together. It's been
Yeah, we did
so great.
So cool.
you know, it's from LA to New York doing like press tour type things for the shows. So yeah, that was really fun and you know, experience not everybody gets to have. So we're grateful for that.
Aw,
That's
you
so
guys are
cool.
So sweet.
Other questions we got asked on social media for you were, do you always dress alike?
A lot of times,
Almost
yes.
always.
A lot, but yeah, you know, realistically, not all the time. I mean, come on.
Right.
You know,
Since
like
having kids, it's been, I think,
Yeah.
tough, right?
It's just crazy. You know, well, you both know how it gets
Yeah.
crazy. Our preference is to dress alike. We usually do, but especially if, I don't know, if we're behind on laundry or you can't find something and you gotta go.
Yeah, it's amazing how one will go up missing like that. You'll have
right,
one-
yeah, one of everything now. Yeah, well, we have two of it. We can only find one, and any
Yes. So cool. And then the other question everybody wanted to know on social media was, are you going to have more quaternary twins?
it's obviously a possibility.
Time will tell. Time will tell. We're really grateful for
Right.
our two boys, and we're very content and happy. But you know, you have to
Yeah,
keep an open mind.
I understand when people have one child and then they want to have another one, and that makes sense. So they have a sibling. So we were lucky in that we each, you know, we all feel like we had two at once, and that they have each other. So we don't feel like there's anything missing really with that sibling relationship for them. So, I mean, of course it could happen, but
We're open.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's a common question, I'm sure. What are some other common questions you guys get whenever you're out and about? I imagine you have a list of like 5 questions that you could almost put on a shirt and just answer for people.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Let's see.
I think people want to know if we live together, if they don't already know that. They definitely want to know how that works.
Yeah, what they want to know what that's like. You know, I think initially they want to know how we came together. You know, that how you met question is the most popular, I think, and,
Right.
Yeah.
and how we became twins, married to twins. And then when they find out we live together, they think it's crazy usually. So I think they're curious about that. I think everyone kind of envisions themselves in that situation. So it may not be for them, but yeah, it's really easy, and there's zero downside in my opinion.
So we also have a joint bank account too, which is even crazy, right?
get that question a lot.
Yeah, I don't even think about that
It's cool
anymore.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
it's
So
neat.
does anybody have like a crazy coffee addiction that we all have to have a family meeting about and be like, stop spending money at Starbucks, please?
That's I mean, I totally understand that question or people thinking like, well, how does that work? You know, like, do you have to discuss every time that you buy something? And we don't, unless, you know, of course, if it's something
Yeah,
like a
right.
big purchase or
Yeah.
something like that. But, you know, just general stuff, you know, nobody's keeping a tally of who spent what or anything like that. It
It's
just,
just this collective, you know.
It's so
Yeah.
cool.
So when I'm out with Brianna, I think when it's just the two of us, people always ask, as they do other sets of twins, I'm sure, have you ever gotten yourselves mixed up? And the answer, believe it or not, Chelsea and Karla, is yes. But I'm going to save that for another time.
Probably not.
That's so awesome.
So
People want to know if you can read each other's minds too.
there's minds. That's
Yes.
a big question.
Yes, it's not. I don't think it's this telepathy superpower that we have necessarily.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Well, it is. It's just not like maybe not like you see in a comic book. You know, there's no like.
yeah. I don't literally.
It's pretty close.
But it is.
It's pretty close. And then the other question I'd say that I get when the four of us are out is, are you all four married? And the answer is no. So this isn't like, and even if it wasn't,
I'm trying to make it more dramatic than it is, right?
right. Two separate traditional marriages in that regard. We do get asked that a lot. Yeah. That's true. We also get asked, how did you pick? That's the follow-up question. Well, if you're not all married, it's really just Brianna and Jeremy. Right. It's really just Brittany and Josh, but how did you pick?
Yeah. And so the answer is, I think that it was just so natural. It was just Jeremy and I clicked immediately, and Brittany and Josh clicked immediately.
We started talking
because you were the firstborns.
Yeah, we found that out after our initial meeting, and we had been drawn to each other. That Brittany and I were the second born; they were the firstborns. So it wasn't like, hey, you guys were first. Okay, so you guys
it wasn't based on that, but that just came. It was coincidence that.
Wow.
There must be something to it. Like you really were just the older sibling, even though that it's 5 minutes. There must be something to that. Are you guys more natural leaders, the firstborns, just naturally that way?
Brittany wanted to specify that. No, I'm not a leader. Leaders are no.
We take turns, I think, all of us leading. I think that maybe in certain situations I'm the leader, but in other situations, particularly like social situations maybe, or like if we go to the salon or something, Brittany is the leader in those situations. So I think it just depends. I would say Josh and Jeremy are also similar in that way.
Right. And it's like, we're not like this person's this person's this, this person's this, we're not, one's not the leader, one's not the, the whatever. It's like each one of us kind of goes in and out of all the roles, in our relationship.
But there is something like it's not leader follower, but there is something like that. If you had to choose, it would be like they're the older twins and we're the younger twins. And I just don't know exactly. You can't put your finger on it. That like
it's maybe a biological thing, right? Like because I know with my kids, Kaya is like always just in charge because she's older by like a year. I mean, my kids are literally 13 months apart, so like each of them, so it's not twins or triplets by any stretch, but you do see like very close similarities, but you do see that natural progression of leadership. Like Cashton naturally will just listen to what Kaya is saying. So it's just interesting to me. I wonder.
Oh my gosh, so they're like basically Irish
twins.
Yeah, Irish triplets.
Irish triplets. And that is such an interesting dynamic. Like I don't think we've even gotten to talk about that yet, Chelsea, with you. That is just really, and it poses a whole different dynamic because with twins and multiples, we're really not older. Like we're really not.
Right.
But it becomes like we are, but then with 13 months, they're so close that yes, technically one is a little bit. That's so interesting.
Yeah. But like at this age, a year is like 5 years, right? Because they're under.
As they get older to get closer.
Less factor.
Yeah.
We have an older brother, and he's 15 months older than us.
That's interesting.
Does he feel left out ever?
I worry about that. Honestly, I do worry. He doesn't ever express that, but I
had some middle child things going on growing up, right? Just kind of maybe acting out a little bit at times, for sure. But I think that as we got older, he realized that like we want him there. We didn't want like for us to be separate. So we kind of at seventh grade on, we were all in the same grade. So we got to go to school together. So it was like triplets,
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people thought we were triplets. We do look. He does look like us too.
In a lot of ways, and we love James. He's such a good big brother, but there is kind of a triplet dynamic too.
That's interesting.
That's so cool.
Did you all have a sibling as well? The girls?
Yeah, two brothers who we absolutely adore.
So Brittany and Brianna are the oldest of four, and Josh and Jeremy are the youngest of four.
Right.
Oh, interesting. That is so cool. Well, I know we have a time crunch and you guys have somewhere to be right now and we could talk to you all day.
I know.
Is there
I can
anything
keep
else
going.
that we need to cover before we end?
We're just excited for more coming in our collections with you all.
I know.
So stay tuned.
Yeah,
And
more to come. You guys will be seeing the Salyer twins on our Abundant Management and our Good Morning Mama page for sure. And Kaya and Cash. So, well, thank you for your time today. Yes, exactly.
It's so hard to find a good cut shirt for males.
Yes.
These are awesome. Super comfortable.
Really? Oh, good. I'm so glad you like them. My husband loves them too.
You guys look great in them too. You guys look like perfect models for these.
Oh, so sweet. And you
Thank
both
you
are
for your
wonderful.
time
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
We love visiting with you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.